Good afternoon. This is Monday, October the 7th, and I am filming and doing some of this week's workouts during these Phillies playoff games because it's the only way that I can keep my sanity. Probably the best use of my energy and anxiety output. So what we have today, we stick with trends, Laura and I. So obviously you were going to deadlift today, but maybe less obvious and yet something that has been a trend for us is that our Monday workouts have been high intensity couplets or triplets with a dumbbell, or as in today's case, 2 dumbbells, potentially 2 kettlebells. We always get worried, as legitimate an exercise protocol exercise with 2 dumbbells is. We get worried about programming stuff like that sometimes because we're worried that we're going to run out of dumbbells. So these are all movements that can be done with kettlebells, and also make sure you're working with your coach. I'm thinking me specifically at the 5:30 class as to how we're going to make sure we get everyone to have a pair of dumbbells that they want. I have some ideas. Don't worry about it. Our thing to worry about. But let's go back to the deadlifts, because we're back to static today, and yet we're going to ask for something that is challenging for a deadlift. If you recall, week 1 of this cycle was sets of 5, and then the following 2 weeks we did static lifts. Last week we went up to singles, but the sets were 5, 3, 3, 1, 1. What we're going to ask you to do today is take a look at what your sets of 3 were last week. And then ask yourself, could I do those for 5? Could I do one of them? The hope was that we ramped last week, right? So could one of those sets of 3 actually have been held on to longer for 5? And if the answer is yes, that's what we want you to do today. If the answer is no, then we're finding a challenging set of 5. Maybe you already found that in week 1, right? And identifying that set of 5 that I could do 5 different times, 5 sets of 5. And these are, they're not necessarily touch and go, but if you can touch and go, great. As long as it's within control and as long as you're not lifting with your back and your technique looks good, all of the kind of stuff us coaches get worried about. Then the workout. The workout is a challenge of many kinds today. It is AMRAP 12, so as many rounds as you can get in 12 minutes. I'm going to do 2 dumbbell burpees. But basically, just so you remember, it means there's a pair of dumbbells on the ground. I'm going to drop to the floor. Chest is going to hit that floor. But when I stand up for my burpee, I'm holding that pair of dumbbells now. And then I bring those dumbbells back to the floor and do another one. You don't have to jump, but you do have to stand tall like you would for a deadlift. Then you have 4 dumbbell deadlifts, maybe kettlebell deadlifts. They should be at your side, and they should look technique-wise like any other barbell deadlift. We're in control here, except to say that with a dumbbell, only one head of each dumbbell needs to touch the ground. The next movement is 6 dumbbell power cleans. These aren't hang power cleans like they were the last time. These are from the floor, so touching the ground power cleans. What can I say about that? So the way that it worked for me was this should be a high rounder, and we're challenging you to do your rounds unbroken if you can, for as long as you can. And unbroken means there's some wiggle room or some gray area with regard to what we count as unbroken today, particularly because of the burpees. You can kind of let go of your hands from the burpees if you wanted to give your hands a slight break. But other than that, your 4 deadlifts right into your 6 cleans, that would be ideally unbroken. And that presents a particular grip strength challenge for sure. And it's just something to think about. So we think it's a high rounder, and because we think that, I went into it going, I think I can get 12 rounds. I'd like to get 12 rounds. probably about round 9, I started to go, I don't know if I want to keep doing this unbroken. I might be able to squeeze extra reps towards the end out of this workout if I don't go unbroken, but I ultimately decided, no, I'm going to go unbroken the whole time. And I did. And I don't know, we'll find out when you guys do this, whether or not that was a smart idea or not. My score was 12 plus, what is it? 12 plus 8. So almost through the 13th round, which would have been nice. I used a pair of 50s. Another thing where I went into it going, I don't know, I might just use 35s and try to get like the best possible workout in today, but I ultimately decided to challenge myself with the 50s. Some things that I noted of myself. One, I am someone who will let go of my hands a little bit on the deadlift burpee at the bottom. Like just open my hands so that my fingers get a little bit of a break, my grip strength gets a little bit of a break as my chest hits the floor, and then I'll quickly regrip and stand up. The grip I was using for the burpee deadlifts was as far close to the edge of the dumbbell as possible, closest side to me, so that they're kind of hanging because only one head of the dumbbell needs to touch the ground for the deadlifts. I finished my 4 deadlifts right after the burpees, and as my 4th deadlift was standing up, I re-gripped the both dumbbells to the middle of the dumbbell. I kind of popped them up to myself and re-gripped them because you want more balance for the cleans. That's the best way that I could describe it. I don't even think I could do it justice with a video. So I just want to let you guys know that the balance should be there for the cleans. If you can do that, I think it kind of gives your grip a little bit of a break and a little bit of a different look. And if you can do that, I think it will help to go unbroken throughout. Give it a shot. Try what you need to try. You don't have to go unbroken. The bottom line is don't stop for longer periods of time than I did. All right, 10 to 15 second breaks, get right back on it. All right, enjoy.